Go ahead, you start.
Hey, you guys, welcome to our live. It is Nisha Allen, Crystal Lynette. We are reviewing Put a Ring on It, Season 2, Episode 6. So, Crystal, what is on your mind right now? What is it you want to talk about first? I'll say.
I Girl, this show was a trip. This was a really interesting episode, but I really want to start with the Shone and the LaRonda. I want
The
to start with this.
show, child.
I want to start with this conversation or this little tiff they had before her date. What did you
Mm.
think of this? This little argument they had, and it didn't start off. She said, "Let's talk about our communication." And she opened up her book. So let's.
Like, she was acting like his kindergarten teacher. Like, okay, sit down. What does the sign say? Read the sign.
How can I communicate better? What I really think is, and this is what our issue with Sean is that he really did turn into the female. He turned into a girl. I was like a girl. He was having issues, the same type of issues that Alexia has with um Darian, saying, "Well, uh, don't tell me when you're going to be gone after you've already left." I said, "Isn't that
Mm-hmm.
the same argument that Alexia had a couple weeks ago?" I was like, "What is happening?" And um, you're in this travel group, and there's two men in the background, and I thought, okay, if it is one of these travel groups, then there probably were guys in there, but there's plenty of women in those travel groups. Now,
Mm-hmm.
because Sean likes to show out and get in his feelings, I said he might be exaggerating. He might be
Mm-hmm.
exaggerating, or she could have been doing dirt. Um,
Right.
what did you think of that little argument they had before her date came in?
I think it's, again, Dr. Nicole hit it on the head again. Like, you can't wrap your head around how she can just enjoy a conversation from a male without it being more, because you're so insecure, because you don't trust yourself. So I think it's, yeah, I think he's bringing a lot of baggage
His
to the,
Yeah, his own
yeah.
insecurities. His own insecurities are just, but they're blaring. They're blaring.
Mhm.
Um, she was like, "Well, how can I communicate better?" I think she was really biting her tongue. Like you could see, I
Mhm.
said, "Is she gritting her teeth?" She was like she really wanted to say something, but the camera was there. That's the impression I got. I was like, "Oh, this poor girl. She really wants to say something." Um, and he said, "Well, this conversation is really one sided. How can I do better with with his voice?" And I was like, "This poor guy."
That voice. Oh my God. I like cringe every time. It's always when he's talking around her. I'm like, I cringe. Like, it didn't bother me on his date. It wasn't really that like there on his date, but when he's with her, it's so like, how are you turned on by that? How are you attracted to that? Like, it just bothers me.
But okay, so LaRonda and the ladies of Put a Ring on It, they did a live, and LaRonda said he's a lover. Like that, she said that he is a very loving guy. Um, and then Sean said something at the end saying that you anybody would be intimidated by somebody who makes $1 million. And they said, I didn't know that she was balling like that. One, I didn't know that, but
Do you
okay.
think he's exaggerating again?
I think he's exaggerating again. I think that that's his insecurities, like you just said. I don't know how he could be saying $1 million. I think that's just strange. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's that. I mean, she could if she's in one of these travel groups. I mean, we don't know how she's making her money, but I do think that's kind of strange. Um, Yes, if she is moving like Darian, then Sean has a reason to be suspicious because to me, uh, you've got two guys in your hotel room, but he's also interrogating her. He's also playing the interrogator like Eric. Well, who's that? What are you doing? Well, and his insecurities are just blaring. He's doing too much. So I do think, and that's what Tia Maria just said, that if he's moving like Sean, then then he has reason to be suspicious. That's
So
true.
I have to ask, do you think that she's with him kind of, you know how a man that's, we'll say, okay, a high value man, they get with a woman and who's not high value, meaning their income basically, and it's like you sit there, be quiet, let me do what I do you think that plays a part in why she's with Sean, why she's with someone who's more on the feminine side versus masculine side, so she can still do the things that she wants to do without having to report to him? Because I think even the financial situation, I think she probably feels like, I'm supporting you, I'm doing this and that, why are you questioning me?
Why are you asking? Why are you even at? Why are you even?
Mhm.
So after this last episode, I definitely start to think that, because did you see her dates with Sean? She can move how she wants to, and she's running that show. After
Mhm.
meeting her date, this last date, she said she wasn't really attracted to him. She's never dated somebody that old before, but she's 31. No, I'm sorry, she's 32, and I think he's
Mhm.
35. So
The
um,
date?
the date,
Oh, he
I
looked a
thought
little older,
he
but
did, but I thought he that she asked, and he's like 35. But so I said they're not that much older than each other, but he definitely did not give me Sean vibes. He did not give me Mr. Sean's type of mentality. He definitely is not somebody that cries at the drop of a dime. And with Sean, that's who she has, and I think that um, that's what she's kind of attracted to. Not just the control. Yeah, I think that she might be like, I can run this show. With that other guy, she said I wasn't really attracted to him, or she was attracted to him. She got a second date, but they're both in the same field, and I don't think that he was her type. Her type is somebody that she can kind of run the show and be admired. Yeah, he
what
did.
I noticed is like with Sir James and the other guy, she's throwing grapes, she's taking shots. With him, you saw a totally different demeanor. And so
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, like what is this? But then she mentioned she wasn't initially attracted to him. So I'm like, did that play a part in like maybe she needed to like warm up to him? But I did notice that. Does she take older as not fun? Or like she can't really show that side of her.
What
So
kind of
I
demeanor
don't,
did you get from her when she was meeting with him?
it didn't seem as playful. She was kind of, I feel like she wasn't as open, not open, but free. I saw like a sense of freeness with the other dates where she's smiling, she's intrigued, and now it was like with him, it was just like, yeah, like she was still friendly, but I didn't see as much openness or freeness as with
Right.
the other.
There was
Mhm.
much more control. There was much more, and I agree with you, Tia Maria. That's exactly what I mean. As far as she's not going to be able to control the guy that her date, he was much more a manly man to me.
Mhm.
Not even talking about his age. He was a manly man,
Yeah.
whereas where she was more demure, or to a certain extent, and it did not it did not seem like he did not seem like the Sean type, the Sean.
So do you think, I would love to see her exes. Like what do her exes match Sean? Do they all have where she has to be this provider, nurturer, caretaker? Or like has she ever dated a man like the date? who had his stuff together, was settled in life.
You bring a good question. You bring up a great question because I got the impression that her exes were more like her date, and that Sean was the different type. Sean was the type that, oh, I can run this show. Where
Mhm.
previously I kind of had to, relax into this type of guy. I had to change myself for a man. Whereas with Sean, he's gonna have to change himself for me. That's what I got. I got that. So that's, you bring up a really good point. I would like to see her exes and see how she moved with them.
Mhm.
Because um with Sean, which every date he's talking about her clothes, he's checking out what she's wearing. You got a pen for your top, your breasts are out. He's like, he's really analyzing every little thing. He was
Mhm.
so annoyed after their conversation. He was like, yeah, she'll be right here, and closed the door on him. He said, Rhonda and I are not vibing right now. I'm not allowing another man in my house. And you know what I also thought? When these dates come around, or when they get into an argument, that's when he turns into this manly man. That's when he straightens his back up.
Mm.
I really got the impression. I was like, oh, so now you're 6 feet tall.
Not 6 feet. I
But
grew 12
remember, you
inches.
are a smooth 5'9". All right, you are a smooth 5'9", and now that you guys are annoyed with each other and mad, and you want her to do for you, and call you every 5 minutes. Now you got your back straight. Now you're showing every muscle. Now
Wow.
that's what I got the impression. What so, um what did you think of Sean's date, the model and yoga?
I I kind of feel like I understand where Dr. Nicole is coming from about like you get on these dates. I feel like all of the dates he's been physically attracted to. Yes. But I feel that they don't bring the same thing to the table on the same level as LaRonda. So on that end,
Mm.
I think that's why they're getting what they're getting. Because fine, money's not everything, but we have to take into account that she is providing for him, and that does play a role. And he's not going to move too funny if that means he's getting cut off and not having his bills paid. So I think finding like okay, there's what was she like a receptionist or something? Then there's the
Brittany was the
struggling
actual singer.
musician. Yes, then there's the struggling model. They're not at the level as LaRonda. So I
Mm.
think if they kind of match him, I think they're matching him on his level,
I
matching him with women
actually,
on his level. But I think if they matched him with people on LaRonda's level, then you might see that challenge that they're looking for. But I
you
think
have a great point.
as long as they're matching him with people on his level, he ain't budging. He ain't gonna do nothing.
You bring up a great point, because the truth is, like, I liked him with Brittany. He and Brittany had something to talk about. I actually thought that with Brittany, she's a singer, he's a comedian, supposedly comedian, and she'll motivate him, even though LaRonda's motivating him, but he feels like he's put LaRonda on this pedestal that she never
Mhm.
asked to be on. Whereas maybe he likes that. Maybe his objective is to date up. He
Yeah.
wants to date up. And they're putting it, and I actually was like, oh, they're really picking people that are like on his same level, but
Mhm.
he wants to date up. If you find somebody to date and put him in a different category, not even just financially, but in a different mindset, then he'll say, oh,
Yeah.
this is. Because he said so many times, this is the lion's den. I got to get out of this. Like he's physically attracted to him. But
Hmm.
you're right. When I saw that he went on another date with Brittany, I said he would sleep with Brittany, but does he really want to date her long term? Even though
Hmm.
with Brittany, he was like, "Oh, you're a singer." Like he really liked her, but I didn't think that he would like stay with her, like be with her. I said, that's a great point. If they, because he
Yeah.
said at their dinner at Brittany, the dinner with Brittany, oh my lady's totally corporate. She's totally corporate. And I thought he was kind of putting that down or not um,
Hmm.
making that a negative. But you're right. You bring up a great point. Yeah, he's but every time he's looked so uncomfortable with each date. The yoga, he's like, I've never done yoga before. And he
Hmm.
felt comfortable in the studio and stuff, but he was like, I gotta go. Because every time he feels comfortable, I'm gonna cheat. Or mhm.
Right. They need to get him that mental stimulation. They're just giving him physical. And that reminds him of his past because he has been a cheater. So he's getting physically stimulated immediately, like, no, this is bad, which it is in a sense. But I think if they found someone on the level of LaRonda, it would be a different story, I think.
I believe you are absolutely right. That's why. And he, as a comedian, he definitely wanted to find himself that somebody that was not that same level. And probably Rhonda too. She's probably dated other men like that guy that was her date. They were both in sales and everything. And when she found Sean, she's like, oh, he's different.
Hmm.
I gotta put up what Tia Maria just said. The lottery and we'll never let her go. Absolutely, absolutely. If she truly has $1 million, he ain't going nowhere. Nowhere.
Right.
Because I watched their live, but like I couldn't watch the whole thing. I just couldn't watch the whole thing. So I
I
guess
missed it. I'm gonna have to go back and see that.
you see that it's on LBB 91 channel too. But I actually
Mhm.
after their show they had gone live after the bombshell. Then I went on Instagram and I was like, oh, they're about to go live, all three of them. So I watched it for a little while, but I couldn't sit in it. I couldn't sit in there whole time. But yeah, that you're right. That's interesting because all of the women have been beautiful. They've all been either a model or I don't remember his first date. I think she was a workout person. What did she do?
I don't
Walks
know.
in the park. And then of course Brittany was a singer. But
Yeah, I
none
don't
of them
remember.
have been that mental stimulation.
Hmm.
But let's go on the other side. Do you think that he stimulates LaRonda mentally?
I don't think so. I think that's somewhat how they balance each other out, how they possibly can. And I think that might be why she got with him because he's a comedian. He was supposed
Mhm.
to, I think a part of it, of them getting together was he's a comedian, he's lighthearted, he's supposed to bring this fun. I go work all day, come home to someone who can lift me up and be fun, be this, be that. But then Sean comes with all this baggage and it's not that.
Right,
So, because she definitely has a fun side on all of these previous dates. She's shown that fun side. So I'm pretty sure when they first met, that fun, that energy, that it was there.
right.
So I think that was what I think her, that's what she was thinking getting into this, that I have someone to come home to that's
Yes,
going to help me get work off my mind.
exactly. Exactly. Be that lightheartedness when I come
Mhm.
home from my hard day's work, doing all my corporate stuff, then I can have this comedian home. Um, and and he
Yeah.
comes with
And
a
I think
lot of baggage.
Yeah, I think, and she thought, well, I can add to him because I think differently and I think this, but it really, it didn't, it turned into her mothering him. That's what it turned into. It didn't turn into me being your partner and helping you. It turned into
Right.
me doing things for you. So yeah,
I
I
agree.
think, yeah,
Go ahead. I totally
go
agree
ahead.
because, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're good.
No, no, I agree. Like the ironing of the clothes and like I said before, I don't mind doing for your man, but you're ironing his clothes while he prepares for another date, like or the kissing on the forehead. And I'm sorry, uh, massaging his neck while he was driving was such a power move. I said, and while she's talking to him and coaxing him, she's running that show. And she kind of wanted something where she can just relax into that role. That's good. That's a great point. I have nothing else to say on that. Let's go with Eric and Jessica. So Jessica's date, this is her second date. He said, "I see you. I see you, and I'm starting to have feelings for you." Well,
Uh,
first, let's go back. He brought her a flower, one rose, a single rose, and then he and she just
I'm sorry, I've
glowed.
heard this all before, so I can't even fall for it. I can't even, I
I was
can't
like
do
the
it.
single rose coming up the stairs, and she's just skating up the stairs.
I got the single rose, I got the same speech, so it's like, I'm not falling for it. But go ahead, Jessica, because you never got that compliment before, so go ahead.
So do you think she is starved? Not the single. Yes, Kimberly, the single rose. Like, that's it. That's the one rose. I was like, oh gosh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not bougie, but and he didn't have change. She didn't have a change for a dozen. But that's all. That's what I thought.
It's funny. I was dating because I dated a guy who did the same thing, and my dad was like, "He can buy you a dozen," and I was like,
That's what
"Dad,"
Kimberly just
because
said.
I'm like in college and like it's so sweet, but no, like he
And
definitely stopped by a gas station and picked it up. It was not thought out. It was not you're on his brain. He went and was like put 20 on 5 and happened to see a white rose sitting there and picked it up.
no, you're right. When he just took it out of the plastic cellophane, he took it out of the clear cellophane. Yes, and here's a rose.
I
And
can't.
then she brings it up, and he was like, "You don't even like roses." He pulled a Shone that time. He pulled the shit because remember Shone
Yes.
was like, "Oh no, she doesn't like guys that look like that. She doesn't like this, that, and the other." And then, "Oh, you don't like flowers like that. You don't like this. You don't like." Well, I like this one. And she's just gloating, skating up the stairs, and I was like, and then he threw the rose in the trash. Where he said, but I actually don't blame him on that point. Like you knew he was gonna throw it in the trash. Like what were you thinking?
Right.
Leaving the
Why would
rose?
you put it in a
You
vase? Why would you do that?
and I'm thinking, why didn't you take the rose with you? It was just one rose. It wasn't going to impede anything. You knew it
Right.
was take the rose with you. It was one single rose. So on her date, she said, or he said, sorry, I'm starting to have feelings for you. What did you think of that after one date?
When he was doing the whole I see you, I'm like, what do you see? You had one date, you talked, all you guys have in common is children. You have two girls. That's what you have in common. Even on that day, I felt like he was so like happy go lucky, and I'm like, over what? She showed up and did what she always does.
Yes.
So,
Unless they're cutting, which we know that the production does this, or editing does this, cutting like these deep
or are they talking outside of these dates? Or
Mm,
is there some texting or talking? Because they were at a bar. They were at a bar having a drink. Yeah. Okay. You got to know each other, but by the second date, you're talking about you see her. What did you see? That
There's nothing, and the funny thing is, on that live that I was just telling you about, she said
Mhm.
at that tequila bar, I was so tossed. I was so drunk. I was so tossed.
Oh my
It was one
goodness.
shot. So I was like, what did he see? He saw you drunk. He saw you tipsy, then go to drunk. But also, I was like, where are they going? Because she had on leggings. She had on workout gear. I said, where are they going? Are they going to work out again? She had the
Oh
yellow
my
print
goodness.
leggings, and I was like Tia Maria said, she leads with her body every time. Every
Mhm.
time, I see your butt. That's what he sees. And I was like, what is he seeing? But like you said, either they're talking outside of this, and we're gonna go to the next couple in a minute, or
Mhm.
they're having these deep conversations. Now I do remember, like we were watching last Ready for Love, like they were having like 4 hour conversations. Some of them were having like some deep conversations outside of production. So maybe, but what could he have possibly seen after the first date at the tequila bar? So
Right.
that what did you think of um Eric's date though? She's from Haiti, I think.
I I was really annoyed. I was so annoyed because it's so not stereotypical. I can't even talk. I'm sorry. It's so stereotypical for the black man to be blinded by the exotic woman. Like, okay, because Eric and this whole depth thing. First, you say she had depth to her, and then you say she's Panamanian. I didn't understand what she was saying. So, which one is it? Like which for like that whole part, but to see him talk like she's very 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 pretty and that whole thing, it was annoying. I feel like he did the same thing he did when he met Jessica. You get blinded by what you're seeing. Like he obviously has a type and that girl fell into the type and now he's all in. But that's the same thing you did with Jessica. Now you're talking about she doesn't have any depth. She doesn't have this or that. So it was annoying to watch from that perspective of seeing because it brings up that topic itself of wanting the exotic woman and going above and beyond for the exotic woman. I don't know.
So, do
It
you
took
think
me
they
there.
even went deep? He keeps talking about going deep. Do you think he even went deep on their little picnic? Do you think they
She wasn't going deep. She was answering his interrogating questions. You can kind of see where what Jessica is saying about how I'm being interrogated because you're married. Well, what happened? Well, what happened? How'd you get a divorce? Oh, so you probably this and oh, like, and you can see the whole time her head was down, like she was just going along with it. It wasn't she wasn't saying anything profound about marriage, divorce, or any of that. She was just
she said they
answering
grew
his
apart?
question.
Yeah,
Right.
she said they grew apart, and but then, like you said, they started to touch hands, and they started to really get touchy feely, and they started doing it. There was no going deep. There was no going deep though, and he keeps talking about this going deep thing,
Right.
and yeah, they have kids in common, but he has kids in common with Jessica. They don't have kids together. He and Jessica don't have
Mhm.
kids together. But she has a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, and he has a 13-year-old. But they don't have
What do
kids
you
together.
what do you think about him asking her, so are you in a rush to get married? And when she says no, you see him kind of light up about that. So
He
what
definitely
do
perked
you
up.
think about that?
I thought that was very telling. I thought that was very telling because he's been with Jessica 4 years, and now she wants to get married because he feels like, oh, she's already got her kid, and she's not in a rush to get married. And but to her, she's like, I'm divorced. I've been there, done that. I really want the. I do like her answer, um,
Mm-hmm.
but women change their mind at this point. Jessica might have said the same thing at first, that I really
Mm-hmm.
don't want that, and now look. So I was I was very yeah, I was very observant of the fact that he definitely perked up when she was like, "Oh, so you don't want to get married right away?" She said, "Well, I'm divorced, so I've already done that. I really want to, find a person." So I thought that was very telling.
And I'm like, what do you mean right away? I feel like he was kind of comparing her to Jessica. I'm like, you've been with her for 4 years. That's not right away.
It's not.
You had
It's
some
not.
time with her. If you
Mhm.
don't want to marry her, okay then, but don't act like Jessica's rushing you because it's been 4 years. Like,
She's definitely not being he's not being pressured.
hmm
So for him to say right away like that's um what would be right away to him, because after 4 years then she wants to know where this is going. Whereas
right.
this girl that's dating, she's just like, I'm just here to date you.
hmm
But what were they were saying while they were like holding hands? I said he's not even paying attention to anything. He's not even paying attention to anything that they're saying. Uh,
Right.
so that she was saying he's not paying attention to anything that she's saying. They're now they're starting to touch hands, and he's just so attracted to this exotic woman, like you said, that
Mhm.
that's not going anywhere. So I thought that was very telling. Um, I wonder if Jessica's going to go and have another date with uh what's his name? His name is Sean. I'm gonna say his name correctly. His name
She
is
did. She did choose to have another date
she
with him.
said, even though, so what do you think was his, so that was Eric's reaction. She said, even though he has stated that he has feelings for me, I still want to go on another date with him. I still like him.
Yeah,
And
I kind of agreed with Eric when it's like, all right, okay, you said this dude has feelings for you. Do you want him to have feelings for you, or are you trying to make me jealous? And it kind of goes back to what Dr. Nicole was saying, was that you guys are like mirroring each other. Like you guys do the same thing to each other, but you don't even notice it.
right,
And the
you don't
funniest
recognize it.
thing, I swear I was looking at them, I was like, they look a lot alike. I was like, if you shave Jessica bald or put a wig on Eric, like they look alike physically. But I was like, I I got what she was saying about that because they
Yeah,
are they're
she's the
doing
male
the
version of
same.
Eric.
Right. He
So
really
let's go
is.
back to this because I really want to address this. Like Tia Maria just said, I really wonder why he took her back. He doesn't want to marry Jessica, but because he doesn't trust her, and I am not sure he should. I agree with you. He will not trust her. And I was talking to Sean on Coach's channel. It is very hard for a man to trust a woman after she hasn't actually done the deed and cheating, but the emotional cheating, he's always going to go back to that in his head. So
Mhm.
I don't know that he's ever going to get her back, or he's ever going to cross that threshold into "Will you marry me?" Because that's
Right.
always going to be in his head. That's what do you think about that? Do you think that he will after this? Oh well, now you're deep. Now I'll marry you.
I think the whole cheating thing, yeah, I feel like part of me feels like it's a crutch as a reason to not marry her. Cause he because you got with her for a certain reason and she's stayed that woman this whole time. And so now you want she doesn't have depth and now the cheating and even though you were doing your thing before and I'm sure you were during, you're in the NFL, and you are easy, like from what I've seen, he's easily into women. Even that woman, the first date he went on, talking about we could have kept going throughout the night. I could have woke up and made her breakfast. Like you still, like you don't say stuff like that and you're and not be doing something else on the side.
And he's
So
easily persuaded, like Sean. He's like,
mhm,
because this him playing touchy feely with the Haitian girl who's very pretty. I think her name was Leilani. Leilani. She was
mhm,
very pretty, but um she started saying something, flirting with him. He flirted right back. He went right into flirting right back. So he didn't he didn't do anything surprising. So
mhm,
it could be a crutch, but I also think that he's not going to marry her right away either. And now that it's been 4 years, and now that he thinks that she's that that she might have cheated with somebody else, or that her eyes, could be looking at somebody else, he's always going to be thinking that. He's always going to be thinking that. This was very interesting episode. So now we're gonna get to um, the couple we really want to talk about.
Lord.
Before we go to Darian and the bombshell at the end, I want to talk about this condo and this date that they finally went on. Um,
Mhm.
that they finally went on. First of
Well,
all,
first thing I want to say
yes,
is
go
I
ahead.
was right. I was right. Monty did not last long. That's all I'm gonna say.
You did say that. You knew. You said he's not gonna leave. You did say that last week. You're like, she's not gonna. I'm afraid that she's not gonna like him. Go ahead, talk about that. That she said, nope. Now I
Like
get vibes.
like I said, her and Jessica, it's a pattern. As soon the only reason Jessica's keeping little dude around is because he's so goo goo over her. But as soon as any of these dates start saying, "Why aren't you married? What's going on?" Well, is he wasting your time? Well, why didn't you like? As soon as they get any of that from any man, they're done. They don't want. It's like they check out. Like they don't want to deal with reality, like with what's really happening in
Mm,
their relationship. So I knew Monty wasn't gonna last. I don't remember him asking anything
that's
that
exactly
was
what I was about
too,
to say because I don't remember
but
him
at least they
asking
didn't
anything.
show us that.
Right.
But I don't
They.
know. I don't know what could have happened, but she I think she might have, because she seemed like she liked the food more than Monty, because she was digging into that food
What?
on both the dates. I was like, I think she just came for the food.
Are you hungry? No, like even after the basketball, she was into that salad. I'm like, why you eat this salad, sis? Because you're right. But on Monty's Day, what we saw, as you just said, because of the production, because of editing, they started talking about it. And I'm trying to think, they started talking, oh, him being into music. She said, what do you do besides basketball? And he said, I'm actually into music. And we didn't get it. He said he used to be in a group. And I'm like, what group was he in? I didn't recognize it.
Mhm.
But and I thought that might have been her trigger as well because she didn't want anybody that was
Mm,
in the next group. But I agree with you though. As soon as she starts to say, "Oh, well, I might start to like this guy," she's out of there. She's out of there.
mhm,
And same with Sean. With Brianna, with Brittany. Um, Sean is out of there, but Sean knows that he's gonna cheat. Sean has a lustful spirit. I'm sorry, he is a lustful spirit, and he's got several issues. He's got daddy issues, all kinds of stuff. So,
right.
but not for the so Sean's doing it not for the same reason.
Mhm,
They are so used to who they've been with for 4 years and for 14 years that they don't want to get out of the situation. But
mhm,
so um with what's his name, Darian, you've watched this show longer than I have. This is my first season watching this. Has there ever been a time where I know that last season Mike went on several dates with his partner, with the person he was dating? Did the counselor ever say you have to have a closure date? Has that happened before?
No, but not that I remember. But what I do recall is Whitney, which was the other girl's name. She basically did the same thing as Kai, as in, you need to decide whether you want to date me or stay in
Mm,
your relationship. So
okay.
she did give him that ultimatum that kind of forced him to make a decision. So I will say that, but I do not recall Dr. Nicole saying you need to give her closure.
Okay. Because to me, I started to think, I wonder if production or Dr. Nick, somebody
I
needs to,
think so.
because why would they do that? Why would there be a closure date? So to me, I said, oh, they know this girl's gonna drop a bombshell. Or maybe they got a call from Kai, as you just said. They've been having conversations outside of this. We both know that what was the date when they were both at the same restaurant,
Mhm,
that Darian was at the same restaurant, that Alexi was at the same restaurant, that that they rode together. They rode
mhm.
together, and we were
And
both
left together, hand in hand.
in hand, and that was very suspicious. But I let that go. I don't know what it was that date, but that all of this has been very telling. All of this has been very telling. So um I want to go first, talk about this condo.
Hmm.
If you were dating a man, and like let's say he's an ex-football player, and before you guys got the house together and he had his condo downtown, um, would you be okay with that? Would you let him keep his condo?
I would not be okay with that because, well, first of all, let's let's get to the facts. You are dating a rapper who said he needed the condo to make music. He has not had an album since 2009.
Right.
It is 2021.
Talk about it.
So at what point, like, that alone, it doesn't even make sense. That's like, it's it's so okay. Like, I wouldn't allow it, but even I felt like he was trying to like manipulate his way into doing what he wanted to do his own type of way. And I'm just like, yeah. But at some point, Alexia has to wake up and say, but okay, let me backtrack. Okay, if he's a cheater, he's a cheater. So, okay, so take away the condo. You think that takes away the cheating? You think he's gonna walk straight and narrow because a condo is gone?
He can cheat anywhere. He doesn't have to be in the condo to do it. He does not have to be in the condo to do it.
Like,
He can cheat anywhere.
so that, like, that part doesn't really make sense to me where it's like, well, and then she lit up. Like, I don't know why the condo symbolizes to her that he like progress.
She's taking any morsel that she
Yeah.
gets. It feels like he's actually listening. It feels like, yeah, that's it. It feels like he's actually listening to her, and that's giving her a little bit of something to hold on to. And yeah, and that's wrong. And now we're going to see that this condo, this is just a symptom. This is just a part of it. You know, you've been with this guy for 14 years. He's had three kids by two different women
Mhm.
during that time. Now, I was again watching the live, and she was overseas playing basketball for 6 years. And she gets back and she finds out, some of the dirt that he's been doing. And so she feels like, okay, if I was here, I could um, I could devote more of my time to him. So you're a professional makeup artist. Let's say you're a makeup artist for a celebrity. I'm gonna put those good
Mhm.
feels towards you, and you got to travel. You are, I don't know, Beyonce's hair, makeup artist, and you got to
Mhm.
travel to her concert and do everything. And your man says, I'm doing my dirt because, you get back and you find out everything. I'm doing all this dirt because you weren't here, you were traveling. Would that make sense to you? Would you forgive him?
I
Consider
I
it.
I would count that as to each its own. You were not strong enough to maintain this relationship. The distance is not for you. And that's because, okay, so if that was the case, that's why I'm saying, like, at the beginning of relationships, it's so important to communicate. So if, let's say, that was not a part of the plan. Let's just say that opportunity dropped in my lap and I didn't know. Then that's one thing for me to for that to happen. Then I would be like, okay, this isn't for you. We need to go our separate ways. But for her and Darion,
Mhm.
you knew he was a rapper. He knew you were a basketball player. So, and he knew you were going overseas. So to I don't feel like that's an excuse. I think if that was my scenario, it would be communicated at the beginning. Hey, I travel. My job causes me to travel. Is this going to work for you? If he says yes and still acts a fool, then okay, we got a problem. Like, we have a problem. Can we work it out? No, because I'm not an Alexia. I'm not gonna give up my career, my passion for a man.
Right. Because she said
So
that those 6 years we weren't together. Then I get back, and I said, well, maybe I need to devote this time to him. So she quits. She said the love of her life. Like she truly loved basketball, and you could see when she just did a little scrimmage with this guy, and she was just like in her bag. She was having a good time, and she quit that for this man. So that's what she feels like. She quit that for somebody that she's been strung along with for 14
mhm.
years. Now, Dr. Nicole was saying, and I said, I'm really hoping, Dr. Nicole, let her know that after you see everything in this process, this is going to let you know what you need to go, what you need to do next. So I really want to know what Darian's excuse is going to be next week. I really do because so talking about the condo, Tia Maria, she said the problem is that Darian is going to say he was just following the process and that he basically was given permission to sleep with Kai because Dr.
Yes,
Nicole specifically said no boundaries. But
that's my issue. I don't think he's going to take accountability for it. I don't think he's going to be accountable at all.
so she's been feeling like this for the longest time, though. This is not
Yes,
the first time he's done it. Entering the show in the last whatever how many episodes we're in, she's been doing it before now, and she's been complaining about this condo for I'm sure a couple of years now. His answer has been, when she says, I get the feeling that you're cheating on me because you got that condo over there, and when you and I get in an argument, you go over to that condo, and he says, feelings don't mean facts.
but
Feelings are
can we rewind to the beginning of the season where she called him out and he said, "You don't have proof." She said, "I think you have something going on." It was either the first or second episode. And he said, "You do not have proof. You don't have proof of that."
I don't remember the first episode. I do remember when they were having that argument in the bathroom.
No, they
Which
were in the car. They were in the car. They were either, I think they were leaving one of the sessions or whatever. But he told her that. And when he said that you don't have proof that I'm cheating, I said, okay, this dude and so many other people were like, if a man would have said that to me, that would have been my proof that he is doing something.
yeah,
So, yeah, he's a dog. It's
yeah,
just,
and feel when they say feelings don't mean facts, I got to go back to something to him being so upset about her friend, whoever this friend is, and these heart eyes and this heart emoji. Now, I'm not from the dating time where where an emoji means we're dating or an emoji means feelings. I if it's a guy's wants to send me a DM, which I've got a couple, but if you send me a heart emoji, that we're not dating, sweetheart. We're not. That's it. This just literally means you like my post. That's it. So, so I'm not from that time, and for him to get in an uproar because of some guy sending her a heart emoji, but then you give me the answer of feelings don't mean facts when you got a whole condo.
yeah.
That that's suspect right there. That's suspicious, and I don't think that he's going to get rid of this condo. If he does get rid of this condo, I don't think that she needs to get rid of this friend, whoever that friend is. He's not going to get rid of that condo. So
I think that's a crutch. I think part of it's a crutch and part of it is I think for men the emojis do mean something different because there are some men that will do that on women they are messing around with. So I think a man like Darion sees that and says, "Oh, something must be going on," because he's probably done that in the past with women he's messing around with. So I think it's part of a crutch, then it's part of his own guilty conscience of things he's done. So yeah, that's what I feel about him keep bringing up that man. And I think it's kind of like what Eric's doing, bringing up that crutch so it seems like you're like cuz I think his because even the whole was it last episode whatever episode when okay I'm gonna apologize but you need to apologize too. He doesn't want to be the only one with the issue. He doesn't want to
yeah,
be the only one that needs to work through something. So I think both of them it's their way of putting something on the woman to kind of make themselves feel better or make themselves appear like they're not the ones messing it up.
right. Yeah, he's not gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna make himself do better, like you said. Tia just said something so interesting, and I'm gonna cut to the second part. She said, "I doubt if Darian would do a good job of hiding his hotel receipts or covering his tracks. So if he loses that condo, that would increase the chances. That would actually force her into doing something, force her into making a decision. And to me, when she said, I don't want to go on a date with him last week, I was like, oh, good. Because I said, maybe this is two steps forward into her, getting out of the situation. But then she said, oh, I was just mad. I talked to her. He talked to me. Then I went out on a date with him, and to me, he would not do a good job of hiding anything. He wouldn't know how to hide anything. I'm sure he's got two phones. I'm sure he's got, oh, I was at the condo. And we decided a long time ago to let him have his space. And there's plenty of places in Atlanta to record something. But
Mhm.
sweetheart, we have not heard hiding her hair from Phil Bob since 2009. So he would not do a good job of hiding his receipts. I agree with you, Tia, because to me, I feel like he's almost trying to get out of this situation. That he really does not want to be in this situation, or not situation, but he knows. He has said plenty of times, "You're not plenty of times." He said it once that what do you say? You're not marriage material.
Yes.
that he doesn't want to be married. He does not want to get married. He has said that there's too many marriage too many times I've seen where marriage has ruined a relationship, and he does not want to get married to her. So now this is pushing the situation forward. I think when a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it, and I'm just waiting to see when she gets fed up. So let's go to this little forced production convo uh,
Right.
with Miss Kai.
Yes.
Because to me, they were saying on the live, do you think that she told the truth? Do you think that she was lying? Do you think she was lying? Um, why would she lie though? Why would she lie?
And I think, I don't know, I personally feel like men are more prone to lie about something like that. But I don't think like women,
Men are more
I'm
prone
not
to
so
say that
quick to believe, huh?
you're saying men are more prone to say they slept with somebody when they didn't? What do you mean?
Yes, I feel that way. I
Okay.
feel like because there's a negative connotation kind of with women sleeping with a man.
Okay.
So I feel like a man would get more bragging points per se for that, whereas a woman, like, okay, this is a woman who knew this man was in a 14-year relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's gonna get all type of hate coming from everywhere. So why would she lie
What does she have
about
to
that?
prove? What does she have to prove? What does she have to?
Unless she's just that sick in the head where she wants attention and clout that bad that she needs to lie about sleeping with someone. But from what I saw in the short clip, she seemed very defensive, almost like hurt and bothered. So that makes me think that something definitely did happen.
That
Because
makes.
she said, what were her exact words? Something like, so you want me to take one for the team. That's what she said.
That's what it
So
is. I
you
was
want,
exactly what it. Take
so
one for the
you
team.
want, yeah, you weren't worried about her when you slept
We were
with
sitting
me.
together, and I feel like he did. He shake his head yes, like a light shake his head yes when she said take one for the team.
He
And
was, and then when she said slept with me, he was like, like you weren't supposed to say that.
to me, production, they rely on Darian's facial expressions and his hand movements and they rely on all of that because they knew that he was not going to answer that. He was stuck. He didn't know what to do, whether it was
I
live.
don't think he knew. Really don't think he was expecting that because even when Dr. Nicole told him you need to have closure with Kai, he was like, "Yeah, okay, sure." Like he kept saying, unless it was just because Alexia was sitting there, he was doing all that. But he seemed like all for it. Like there was really no issue with it. But then you see him in the confessional, like I don't know how Kai's gonna react or it's like
But I feel
I
like
don't know. Maybe it was a front.
he said, I don't know if Kai's going to go off or not. She may
Yeah.
go off. But to me, knowing just from what I see of Kai,
Hmm.
I'm not surprised she said that. I'm not surprised. He's like you said that he looked like he was surprised that she said something. I'm not surprised. Like this girl said, I am not the help. And she said, I'm not the help. Would make a decision. You're stuck with this person for 14 years. She was putting in her bid last episode. And when he didn't take it, I just wonder at what point they slept together. Was it the time
Right.
when they
Was it from the beginning? Was it the middle, the end? When
was it the night
was
that he
it?
said, I love that girl? Was to me, I'm like, wait a minute. To me, this man just said he loves his girlfriend of 14 years and then you sleep with him that night. That's what I'm wondering. But and you're right, it might be just semantics. She still shouldn't have done it, but at the same time, I feel like she did her job. Like this was not she did her job by sleeping with him, but she wanted the airtime. She wanted the airtime. He picked the right one, or production picked the right one when it came to Darian. They picked the
Mhm.
right one, and he fell right into it. So I
Yeah,
think
I definitely think it was production though that played, because if she can go and sit there and say all this stuff on camera, she definitely was running back to production and saying, because she seems a little crazy, a little like the crazy girlfriend type. So when he's skipping weeks and not going on dates, she's probably hitting up production like, hey, where's my date? Why haven't I seen, like, if he's not answering his phone? I'm pretty sure she was hitting up production and letting them in. And yeah, so yeah, it's a mess.
it's so funny. You're right because thinking about it, when she has her one-on-ones, when she has her talking head, she's in a whole couch, she's in a whole outfit or whatever. And when the other dates have their talking head, I know I saw Monty, he was on the basketball field. Like their talking
Mhm.
heads were like right before or after the date. It was like right
Mhm.
immediately. Whereas she was almost part of the show. She
Confessional.
confessional, her confessionals.
You are right. I didn't even notice that.
Hmm.
It's like she's a part of the cast. So is this a play of production? Is it all like a part of the scenario? Did it really happen? Or did they find out what happened and they're like, okay, you get moved up a notch because you did this? That's a great point.
Right. I think that she's made some moves, as you just said. She's been calling production. She's been doing some things behind the scenes where these guys are all like, listen, I'm on a date. Or even I don't even remember. I'm trying to remember Sean's date with Brittany. I think she had one or two confessionals. She had one or two talking heads, but it has not been as much as
Cause she had the white chair, the lighting, the flowers in the back. She had the setup. Alexia ain't even all Alexia got was a chair and a green screen. I
yes.
don't know what's going on with that then. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you're right. Yeah, and I think that she has made her position uh, in as one of the castmates, and that's not what she was supposed to do. But they're trying to say that she could be lying, but who would lie about that? Why would she lie? She doesn't need to.
Now that you're pointing that out, now I'm starting to think okay, I think maybe something did happen between them because he didn't deny it. He didn't say no, 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 that didn't happen. He made this grunt noise like
That was a jump
I
cut.
didn't
That
want
was
that
like a
to
stay
come up.
tuned next week. Yeah, that was a stay tuned next week though. They
Yeah, but I
That's
think
what I'm wondering.
his reaction wasn't, I think if any man, if you really love that girl like you claim to, if anyone's claiming they slept with you and you did not sleep with them, I feel like it would be an immediate like, hold on, what, like what are you talking about? But I didn't
Mhm.
see that. It was kind of like a damn it, like
Yeah.
I got caught. So
Yeah.
I'm
No, you're right. That's what I did definitely notice. Like if somebody said that in any way, shape, or form, he should have been like, wait, what? Or
mhm.
something. He should have given her some type of reaction. But we also know,
So
Darian has
do you think production really like hired her to use her body to seduce this man?
no, I don't think they needed to. I don't think that they hired her. I think that they hired her to be a date just like they hired all the other dates.
And
But
they both ran with it.
right, but she's
Side chicks of Atlanta.
maybe Kai was trying to get a spinoff Side Chicks of Atlanta. I think so. I think that she has her own brand. They probably found her on Instagram, just like, some other, some of the other contestants or some of the other dates. And she has her own brand that she's trying to promote, and she's trying to make money. So 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 she ran with it, and she said, "Oh, so this is what this is about." She probably saw last season and said, "Okay, this is how I can spin this. Let me see if I can control this narrative." I think that's what happened. That's interesting, though. Yeah.
Do you think this is enough for Alexia to leave? Do you think this will be the straw that broke the camel's back, where she can like finally leave for good?
If this is true, then I would say yes. I would hope yes. If this is true, and I say if this is true, is because she's the type that would question this. She's the
Hmm.
type that has been like, he's a rapper, which he's not a rapper. He's a rapper or he's an ex rapper. And women say stuff all the time. Women are always in his DMs. She's going to give
Oh, I hope she doesn't do
type
that.
of excuse. But if this is true, and this girl has got proof, or she's, because I would think Kai is smart enough to take some pictures at night or something, and the proof comes out.
I
I
hope
would
she
say,
is not going to try and defend
well,
him. Because even when she made the comment that, oh my goodness,
if she's pregnant, I
that's a mess. But she made the comment, he's a rapper, you know what that comes with. So
right.
it's like, are you accepting of this behavior? Or I don't, maybe she just wants the ring. She just wants the ring. And she'll accept whatever comes with it.
Yes and no. I think that she's at a time after 14 years, she's at a time where I want the whole package. I want the relationship and the ring and everything that comes with it. I want this relationship. But I think um, that she's also still holding on to, you know, the fact that she left her career for this man. When she says stuff like, "Well, he's a rapper," you know what that comes with. She has been accepting of it. She has been accepting of all the dirt that he's done with the past women and everything in the condo and stuff like that. She's been accepting of it for a long time. So now this is just another thing, I think. And what she did say in the promos that I remember her saying is that he's got 2 years. Like, I'm 34, I'm gonna be 36. Like, and she's hearing that clock ticking, and I think that she has been accepting of it, and she's feels like she's not gonna put up with it very much more. So if this girl is, um, if he has been sleeping with her, and if she is pregnant, um, yeah, that would not fly with me. That wouldn't fly with me. So, do you think that she would leave? Do you think that she would leave? Do you think that this would be the straw that breaks the camel's back?
I hope so. Or it's just very, it shows. Hold on 1 second.
That's okay. Yeah, we are really wondering if there is going to be any more bombshells. This reminded me a little bit of Mavs from last season. Not the relationships, but to me, with Chris and Paige, I was like, and another thing, and another thing, and another thing. It kept being so much more every week. I was like, girl, you should have left weeks ago. So yeah, I was just saying that this kind of reminded me of Mavs last season, how it just kept going one more thing and then one more thing and then one more thing every week. Paige was just, there was another bombshell and another thing for her to put up with. And I said, come on now, there's just one more one more bombshell. Now this, I said, this guy just keeps dragging you in, down into the ground with him. Run, leave. So yeah, what were you
I
gonna say?
I think now that I'm thinking about it, this is a reality show and they have contracts. So that's what makes me think. Because me, I would have been like, done. Okay, I'm ready to go. Forget your 5, 6 more episodes. I'm done. So, can she really do that? Is that going to be like the downfall of her sticking in it? Because is she the contract and her having maybe to stay and film? Is that going to kind of force her to have to work through things with him? Or I don't know. Is she going to get
So
sucked back in that way? Or will she be able to say, you know what, I'm done. This is the end.
this might be the end until the last episode. She might do something where she just puts up with these what do you call it? These talks with all the other ladies, all the other couples, but she may have mentally and everything else checked out, and then at the end she packs her bags and leaves. Or I wonder if it is like Mavs, where you could keep filming, but you just don't have to keep filming with him. So I don't know, but I also do know, I don't know how much they make, but they do get money from this. So um, in an effort to secure her bag, she probably will keep filming. But even though, you know how they drag this on, like this girl might say this at the end of this episode, then we might hear a little piece of the story, a little piece of the story, a little piece of the story. They might drag this on. Okay, he admitted this episode, but this is a dirty little secret that they haven't told Alexia for next episode. Like they might drag it on. So that's what I'm wondering. Go ahead.
I hope they do not drag this on until like the finale like last season there was like the proposal, either you propose or break up with them. So I hope they're not like, okay, you need to tell her before you propose. So I hope it's not like a, okay, these last couple weeks we've been working and really having all this breakthrough and okay, I'm ready to marry you, but I also slept with Kai. So I hope it's not
Ooh,
one of those because you're right. They being that it's what 5 more episodes, they might drag it out.
right, right.
So will she find out next episode?
That's what I'm wondering. Will she find out next episode? I don't think today. I think
That's
next episode is going to
so
be full of. I think next episode is going to be the Kai show. This is going to be the Kai show. It's going to be the Kai and Darian of it all. You guys, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. This was a
it
lot of fun. We're
was.
going to be having all kinds of content coming in August. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. I got to get Tia Maria. She just put, why would she leave if Darian slept with Kai? He had been cheating all along. What is different about the
It's
situation?
on TV. It's on TV. It's public. Not only that, it's different when you have an intuition, but when you see it, when it's confirmed, when someone's repeating it back to you, that's different.
This whole time, he has been getting away with this feelings aren't facts.
Yes. And
Now
you
that
don't
she
have
sees it,
proof. The
right.
proof
And
is
it's,
here now.
yeah. Now she sees it. And when somebody is humiliated to this, and I don't think she has anything to be humiliated about, but she may feel that. She may feel it a lot more when she sees it, when she
Hmm.
sees that other people have seen it. But he has
Hmm.
been getting away with telling her whatever she wants to hear or whatever will soothe the situation to get through these last 14 years, because he has been, they break up, get back together, break up, you know, he's been getting away with it for on and off for the last 14 years. So now, because it is on TV and because he actually she's actually seen the girl. These random girls, yes, he's been cheating all along, but these random girls have been just in her imagination. But now he
Mhm.
actually sees Kai. She actually knows what she looks like, has a name and a face. Like, oh, my husband cheated, but I don't know what the girl looks like. No, she actually sees her, knows what she looks like. No, and that's a different type of feeling. So this might,
Mhm.
and this has got to be. We're all wondering what is the straw that's going to break the camel's back, because if you're 34, you've already said it at the top of the show. He's got 2 years. This is it. This is going to be it for him. And it's not it.
That makes me think that she might stick around. Because what does he need 20 years for? You want to, okay, it's gonna be 16, then 18, then 20. It's like, mm, yeah,
To me,
he's
he's
had
gone
four,
on with his life. To me, he's went on
yeah.
with his life. He's got his kids. He's
Hmm.
got it. If he doesn't give her kids or a ring, it makes him know never mind.
Hmm.
So yeah, this has been so much fun.
It has.
So much fun. We've got a lot of great content coming up in August. We're going to be doing some other collabs. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a 3-part series on Black men and colon cancer. I'm scheduling that now. Um, so thank you guys so much. Misha, you have the last. You have the last. You opened it. Now close it. Go ahead. Please tune in to Misha Allen. Check out her makeup tutorials. Check out her makeup tutorials. I
Yeah.
can't do half the job she does, and I said I would try, but I got to talk to Misha about this. Like, Misha.
But yeah, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Misha Allen, and of course, the host, Crystal Lynette. Subscribe to her channel as well. And we'll be coming back with some more lives, reviews, and yeah, we'll be back.
I don't know what she's talking about. This was a dual hosting. I
Yeah.
hope. Thank you guys so much.